guys, we are now live over on the Instagram
post.
Oh.
Hi. Yeah.
Where's Jodi
And Slim Slimmers.
Slim Slimmers? Drew was late. Watch there.
Hi,
Jodi.
It's
Hi
Slim.
Slim Slimmers.
Yes.
Oh, Lady B
Lady
Mixology.
B.
Hi
Kiki.
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 Who's that? Kayla. Hi guys. Oi. Forever Shawnee.
Nana, you have to turn that down.
You can hear us.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh.
She's right there.
She's
She's
right there,
watching,
watching
us
us.
on the IG on her phone.
Oh. Hi Handmade Cards by Nandi.
She's so crazy.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tricky, where we take your mind off of what's going on outside of the closet and bring you in here for an hour of fun, frolic, and foolishness and babies.
I know.
Sleeping back there.
I know. Oh my gosh, Remy is so sweet with her. And so is Levi. You know, Levi packs her baby bag for her.
Aww.
Yeah.
And Levi's held her 2 or 3 times now.
Yes.
And
Remy's still on just a toe touch.
But I wouldn't give my baby to Remy, you know.
Remy rough.
Remy's so rough.
Remy
rough, bad man. Hi Raul. Remy really rough. But Levi, it's almost as if they're so caring for each other.
They are. And Sarah and Jakey have been amazing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like they know that this is a little baby, need to be gentle with her, and it's just so sweet. It's so
very
sweet.
It's so sweet to see.
And then I was giving Tracy, Nana's over there. I was giving Tracy.
Oh, Kayla, it says I look regal like a rich. Well, I bought this outfit, but you know I'm gonna show you guys my outfit.
I hear my clean see.
So I bought this outfit from By the Cabana. They have their website is now up. So it is a big shirt. It's an oversized shirt. It's an oversized pair of shorts. I love it. I absolutely love it. The material is easy breezy.
Hold on, let's go down on the YouTube. Yeah. Nice.
The material is easy breezy. It's good to wear around the father and the mother-in-law because it's the first thing I have that's not batty right off.
Oh, maybe I should get a pair.
Yes.
I would definitely make my shorts off.
I know. I was thinking I was gonna ask Nana to make my shorts
Let me
off.
tell you something.
But I have a country weekend with the parents,
Oh.
with the in-laws.
Let me-
After that, I'll do it.
You'll do it? Okay, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
God blessed me with my stumper legs because anyhow God did give me them like a sexy, tight body, tone up legs. I'd be walking around in a
Whose legs
thong,
would you
20
want though? Can you think of a pair of legs that you'd want?
Crystal Chang.
She has sexy legs.
She has sexy legs. I find that Chinese people on a whole though.
Yeah, that's true. Anela
Yeah.
has sexy legs, no cellulite.
Yeah, oh gosh, no. So what I would do for no cellulite? Cheese and peas.
Lindsay Chang.
Lindsay Chang has sexy legs. Yeah, but then I can't have too slim of a leg because if I had a slim of a leg with my big bumper, I'd look like an ant. I'd look like Black China before the last surgery she had.
I know. I just want to get through to this because it's just staring at me.
Oh, so I'm still on my diet. Alright, guys.
So today we have some smoked meats. Well, this is smoked tuna by Holy Smokes. What a cute name, eh? So they do charcuterie items. So they do smoked cheeses, they do smoked tuna, they do smoked salmon. And they also do an amazing smoked snapper dip.
I've had the smoked snapper dip.
You had it?
Yes,
It was
I've
really
had
good.
the smoked snapper dip.
It was really good. So anyway, they gifted us with 2 packages of the tuna, smoked tuna, to which I made some canapes.
Alright, I can have the tuna only. I have to. It's just I can definitely have this on my diet because it's no sugar, no carbs.
So
I can't
I
have the
just
cream
put
cheese.
I just put it together with a little cream cheese, black pepper,
You really
caper
stuck
on top.
cream cheese on there, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That's so good. I like how you replaced the crackers with cucumber.
cucumber?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought you'd be able to have it.
I can have the cucumber, I can have the tuna, I can't have the cream cheese.
Mm.
That is so good.
Like, I didn't put any salt on there because the meat is already so salty and smoky.
That's really good.
Let me tell you,
That's really,
this
really
is for a
good.
little diet snack. This is great. Even if you're trying to be fancy and have people over.
Mhm. I'm gonna have another one.
Yeah, girl, they are
Scrape
so
off
good.
the cream cheese. Why
Oh.
does never bring up the something without no cream cheese on there, girl?
I thought you could
Yeah,
have
try
the cream cheese.
That sabotage my diet.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's just so good.
I can't even talk.
Oh, the flickering? What is flickering? Is it the roof light?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Adjusting flickering now. Oh dear.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
So this was a smoked tuna. What's the flavor difference?
No, they're complaining about the AC. The AC not turn off. Sorry. AC can't turn off. Absolutely
How
not.
could you be complaining about the AC?
It's very loud.
Oh, it is? Oh, maybe it was a drilling.
There was drilling earlier. They know. They're like, oh, Jodi's filming.
I know.
Jeez. That tuna's really good.
That tuna is so good.
You can check out their Instagram page, Holy Smokes JA, to check out their charcuterie items. And
So what?
cheese. It's a great snack. You can make a sandwich. You can put it with cheese and then, be like, hey friends, I have something for you. You can make like a nice pasta dish. Oh my gosh.
Their Instagram is Holy Smokes JA. Oh my god.
Proudly smoked in Jamaica.
Oh dude, I could eat off all of these. I'm going to.
Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh man, you and this damn cream cheese just trying to sabotage my diet. I've lost over 10 pounds and you are just sabotager.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
Sure.
You couldn't have little cream cheese.
Can't have cream cheese.
Actually, I did realize. I just didn't want you having any.
Yeah, right. It's the vagina lady, Ramona.
So
you
she's
can
here?
have yes, you can have
All
a
right,
salad
let's
also.
lock her on.
Okay, so guys, today we're going to be having a special chat with Ramona, the vagina lady. We're going to talk about fibroids. We're going to talk about lots of things to do with the vagina. And because I don't know how to edit, I'm just going to have this at the corner of my YouTube screen so that everybody can see who I'm talking to, because I don't know how to make the bubble come in. I'm not the best editor. But don't worry, we're going to be talking to Ramona. Let us call Ramona in and get started with today's excitingness.
I'm so
Well.
excited for this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really like Ramona.
We are waiting for Ramona.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi, Ramona.
Hi, goddesses. How are you?
We're good.
We were just
good.
saying that we love when you call us goddess.
Yeah.
My
like
favorite
special.
sisters.
Yeah. So it has been so long that I've been dying to have you on the show. It's been over a year now. But I just have so many questions for you, Ramona. You've been there with me through the whole of my pregnancy journey, from before I was pregnant, getting pregnant, throughout the whole of my pregnancy till after. You're still here with me. So I'm excited to ask you some questions about that. And I'm also excited to ask you questions about the other things that you do, because it's not just to get pregnant and pregnancy. You do a lot with the womb and with the vaginal area, and you also do something with the boys' body area too. You can help out there.
Yes.
Bodyologist. Yes, Ramona.
We can't just do one. Bird don't fly on one wing. You know what I mean? We have to make sure both situations are good to go.
That's
Amen.
right.
That's right.
So what exactly?
Look at this one over here with like the fat, like you're a fan. Look at you with this picture. What you doing?
Well, I want everybody on YouTube to know who we're talking to, so I don't know how to edit. So
Oh,
I
okay.
can't edit,
I get it.
She's here.
Yeah, you're here with us.
So tell me what it is that you can do to help out the guys. What is it that you will give?
You really gonna start with the man them?
Yeah, because I want people to, because the man them going to take short and the woman them going to take long. So yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to the men, I focus, depending on the situation, it can be either building up the sperm, right? So if we're talking about the mobility of the sperm, if we're talking about the speed, if we're talking about the life, if we're talking just the abundant amount of sperm, definitely do things for that. There are some treatments that I do. There are also like different, tonics or herbs or whatever that we'd also incorporate with that. Apart from that, really help with like circulation for the actual penis itself. So allowing the penis to be the best version of itself. So for example, like when it comes to women, I always talk about, listen, a vagina should be able to dance while it's having sex and, do all these amazing things. And the penis should also be able to do some amazing things. So really just allowing the penis to get as engorged as it can, as big as it can, as thick as it can, and also last as well. Because if you're having sex with an amazing vagina, right, you find that he might just pop off a little early, right, because it's just so amazing going up there. Right. So you really want to make sure that he can manage. You really want to make sure that he can handle the ride, literally handle the ride. And so there are certain treatments and there are certain exercises that I teach men as well. So I have a class called pelvic strengthening, and it's really penis strengthening, but I try not to kill the people them and stress them out. So we call it pelvic strengthening. And they do a little different types of techniques so that, of course, they can get their penis to be the best version of itself. So that's pretty much what I do with the men.
Quick question about the penis. Do you think that if men masturbate, that it will affect negatively their sexual performance?
Okay, so in a way, not in a way. So I think it's really important for men or women to masturbate. I think that is how you learn your body. That is what it's very important to do so. The masturbation aspect is not the issue for me. It is the climaxing. And I find that men that come every time when they have sex, that is really what depletes the health of their penis. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of something called the Kundalini. Have you guys ever heard of that? Kundalini? Kundalini, no. Have you ever heard of that? Okay, so Kundalini, you'll hear a lot about that from yoga, right? And the Kundalini kind of runs through the spine. And the more a man can hold back his cum, is the more strengthened his Kundalini will be. So we find that when he releases all the time, it really can create an issue later on in life. Oh. Is it milk time? Yes. So you find that when he not just the masturbation, not just the having sex, but the actual ejaculation, right, and the sperm itself being released every single time he has sex or every single time he masturbates, you find that it really will deplete the life of his sperm. Of his penis in itself.
Right. Okay. Especially if you're going to have sex multiple times a day, you don't want to be...
Right. Don't come. No, don't come. Don't come. Take it to the brink. You're almost there. You're right there. You can taste it. You can smell it. You can hear it. But just hold it. Yeah, because you find that when you hold it a few times and then you come, let's say 2 days later, say you've had sex today, you have sex tomorrow, you don't come, and then the third day you come. That come is an amazing come. It's like climbing the Himalayas and, floating on the clouds, So, yeah, it's really important for them to also try to not necessarily come every single time.
Right. If you have a man where come quick, does that mean say your pum pum stay good?
It possibly, yes. Yes, for sure. Or you know how to work it. You know what to do. And it could be for many reasons. It could be, the fatness. It could be the wetness. It could be the warmth. It could be the way you throw it on him. It could also be the way you make it dance and flutter and spin.
When you say
so it really just depends.
Is that your Kegels?
Yeah, that's like your vaginal walls being able to, the muscles in your vagina being able to manipulate it in whichever way you want to manipulate it. So if you want to ripple it, if you want to squeeze it, if you want to clench it, if you want to ripple just one side, whatever it is that you want to do.
Squeeze and clench. Girl, you don't know for the damn things you must practice while you're driving.
And practice while you're having sex too. It's great. It really, really awakens the vagina. As a matter of fact, I do a class on this, right? Like every month. Yeah. So yeah, this is something you can definitely do anywhere because nobody knows that you're doing it. So there's no excuse to not be doing your Kegels. You can do it literally anywhere.
And then it's really good also for Kegels for moms who have just had babies to do their Kegels to try and get back that tightness.
Yes, it is. Really, the main thing about that is the pelvic floor, right? Especially for the moms the women that have just had baby or have had baby a long time ago. It is literally the pelvic floor that you want to strengthen. When you're strengthening the pelvic floor, everywhere from the pelvic floor coming down is also going to become strengthened. So we're strengthening the base of the vagina, and we're working our way all the way up to the cervix and past the cervix. So it's important. And Kegels, don't think that it's basic. You can do a lot of things, you know what I mean, with the Kegels. So, you know, for a lot of women, they think just the squeeze and the release and the squeeze and the release is enough. And that can get a little boring after a while. So you want to squeeze and hold your Kegel for a count. Or you want to squeeze, squeeze, release, squeeze, squeeze, release. Do a pattern. That's what you want to do. Because that's what you want to do. That makes a huge difference. And then if you have like a yoni egg in while you're doing that, it's like, even like, it's like doing Kegels 10 times. And
Afraid.
I agree. Yeah, the yoni egg makes me feel so weird.
girl,
Like,
listen, man.
Pop it up in there, and when it's time for it to come out, I just go and
It will come out.
The egg.
It will come out. And your pussy will thank you. Can I say that? Oops, your vagina will thank you.
Yes, you can. So let me ask you something though, Ramona. So these treatments and stuff that you do, they're all organic, they're all natural, they're all like, it's nothing like medicinal or chemicals or something. It's all like tree and grass and leaf, and you boil it down, and you know, like everything you have is herbal and good, right?
Pretty much, yes. Everything is from a holistic standpoint. And I guess the reason why is because of my own personal journey and realizing that that's really what worked for me with my reproductive conditions. And so, you know, it helped fix me, I guess. And so I kind of ran with that. And it's done, I've seen great improvements for women for sure. So 100% natural all the way through.
So other than you having your own experience where you had to use your knowledge of herbs and stuff, did you go and get like some type of education, like a naturalista course?
Where do you go? Pom school?
Well, that's what I want to know.
So I actually went through my healing process before I even started Cosmic Woman, before I became the Vagina Lady, before any of that. So once I ended up healing myself, got pregnant, did that whole give birth to my baby myself kind of excitement. That in itself kind of created this urge and this want and this need to help other women, because I knew I couldn't be the only woman on this earth that's suffering from like reproductive issues and hates their period and hates everything about life when it comes to, you know, that whole vagina reproductive situation. So I did go back to school. I went and took a course with Queen Afua. I also went and did reflexology, herbology, and I also did some things with the birth world, because of course birthing was like really like, after I gave birth to Reagan in my SUV, it was like everything was about birthing for me after that. So I actually ended up doing things like placenta encapsulation courses, becoming a doula, a birth doula, postpartum doula, and I'm in school for midwifery right now. So it kind of, you know, so that's pretty much the schooling, you could say, that I went through. And then I guess my own personal research and, you know, studying, and then just put it all together in one thing called womb wellness.
So let me,
before we go any further, let me just say, everybody, we are talking to Ramona, right? And she's talking to us about womb wellness. So if you're just joining in, welcome. We're speaking with Ramona, and she's here with us. And so is Stevie.
yes, Stevie, I feed.
Yeah, she's very loud. I'm here.
I know, she's.
The milk tastes good, man.
Hey, boy,
sweet.
Running like
I'll take Stevie's word for it, okay? I'm not.
Have you not tasted your breast milk, Tracy?
Girl, you know I have. I drink
Tracy
that.
tasted
Okay.
Tasted all the like Tiffany's, and I've been thinking about if I should taste Tracy's butter.
You should.
It's nice.
Okay.
You should. It's sweet. I haven't tasted it, and I know it's sweet.
It is.
Speaking of wonderful things to drink, I'm drinking today my Lady B Mixology, my watermelon smash mojito. This is with white rum and parsley.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, you have a sip too, Ramona.
So good.
So we know that you can help with giving birth and babies and stuff. But I'm gonna get into all of that. Just my journey with you and how you can help other people with birthing and babies and doula. But I want to get into that you help with periods and women who are having heavy periods and stuff that is like all crazy with periods. I've never had a crazy period, to be honest with you. Jodi
Lucky girl.
Yeah.
I haven't had a heavy period, but I've had frequent periods. Because remember, I had all of that fibroid issue too.
Right. So tell us about a little bit more about what can happen with a period, how you get down to a 1-day period. And something that I really want you to tell me about is the color of the period and the color that it's supposed to be. Because I remember when I came to you, you said something about my period isn't coming out enough because it was still brown. I don't know. So let's go.
Okay. So yes, my goal is for every single woman on this earth and young girl who has her period to have a 1-day period. I have just had my first literal 1-day period and I am so freaking excited, right? It's been 2 days for a long time, which I'm quite happy with, don't get me wrong. But I'm really excited about it being 1 day, especially because I still eat meat here and there. But yes, 1-day periods are my goal for everyone. It is important for us to understand that the more we bleed, the more we bleed is more of our uterus telling us that something is wrong. So when you have a reproductive condition,
Wait, hold on.
Ramona, you chipped out. So the color of the blood will tell us that something is wrong with the uterus, and then you're chipping out right after that.
Okay, so the length of the period, right, will tell us that something is wrong with the uterus in itself, or something is wrong with the hormone. So the hormones are an issue, which then the longer we bleed is an issue. So you find women that suffer from fibroids or suffer from endometriosis or any of these types of reproductive conditions, that they usually have a longer period. They usually have a heavier period. They usually have pain during their period, maybe headaches, back pain, cramping, all kind of pain in their legs, wherever it is, okay? And the reason why is because it's the body just telling you that something is wrong. Okay, so the shorter the period is, the better it is. The least amount of symptoms you have during your period, you're better. So for me, I like to tell women, you need to have an easy, breezy period. Easy breezy means nothing. Your period came, it's here, you don't even know, you didn't even realize until you went to the bathroom. You didn't feel anything, you didn't sense anything. That's what a period should be. Right? Whereas some women, you know, a week before their period, they're really suffering. You know what I mean? Maybe cramps or whatever else. They're bothered. Their breasts are swollen. There's just something that's going on. It shouldn't have to be that way. A healthy, happy period is going to be symptom-free. It's going to be short. Symptom-free. Okay. You're also going to find that the color of the period, when your period starts, and this is what Tracy was talking about a little earlier, when your period starts, your period really should be pink, light red, or bright red. Okay, those are the 3 colors that lets you know that the blood is fresh. Okay, the lining of the uterus has just started to shed. It's dropping through your cervix and then coming out through your vagina. Okay. For a lot of women, though, when their period starts, their period is brown or black or burgundy, okay? And what that is telling you is that the blood is old, okay? It's telling you that your cervix probably closed up before all the blood came out. So it stays behind the cervix, sitting there and waiting for the next period to come, for the cervix to open again, for this blood to now come out, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that when your period starts, it starts in these fresh blood colors. Now, when the period is ending, it can end a little brown because it's the end of the period. The blood is now, you know, it's coming to an end. So that is not really an issue, but it should never start that way.
Okay.
It Should never start that way.
So if my period is starting that way and I come to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do? Is it that you give me a herbal mixture, you go through my body, you see what's going on, you analyze me, and you give me my tonics so that I can start
Right.
having, and do you recommend we exercise as well? Because I see somebody wrote
Yes.
that her period was better when she was exercising. I saw somebody wrote
Yes.
exercise.
It's the circulation.
Okay.
It's improving circulation, so it allows the period to be better. So because of course with the period it's the blood flow, it's all of those things, right? So circulation is really, really important. And then when it comes to exercise as well, what we find is that when you're working and strengthening your ab muscles and all of these types of things, when it comes down to now the uterus contracting, because that's of course what it does when you're having your period, it's not as painful because your core is strong. Right, your core is stronger, so it can stand up to this contracting that it's doing for how many days.
Right.
So that's important. But when it comes to really wanting to get your period down to maybe a 1 day, maybe a 3 day, whatever it is. Let's say, for example, your period lasts 7 days. I'm sure if your period lasts 7 days, a 4-day period is fantastic. Like, I mean, 1 day, yeah, that's like a dream, but 4 days, yeah, I'll take it type of situation.
Yeah.
And so with that, I definitely always recommend, my clients getting a treatment plan. It's always the easiest way because I know exactly what's going on with you. You know what I mean? And I can say, okay, well, you personally need this, versus me kind of guessing based off of, just 1 or 2 things that you might have said. Meat also is huge when it comes to shortening the period.
Because you said I still eat meat here and there.
Yeah.
Lord Ramona, me love the little them, you see, man.
No, is the best tasting meat,
No.
Don't get me wrong, I get it, girl. Woo. I get it. I get it. That's why it have to worth it. You understand? You have to you eat it and it worth it. And you're just like, oh, Christmas. When you get Christmas come? Yeah, one of those types of things. But eating meat during your period, like let's say 3 days before your period and during your period can definitely help you shorten your period. Definitely. Even the clots. I find that women have clots and always have clots. Like, Tracy, only you supposed to be having clots right now because you just have a baby. You understand? If you have a miscarriage, yeah, okay, I get it. Have clots. But if you haven't had either, there's no reason to have clots. The thick ones, the chunky ones, the stretchy ones, I don't care what they are. Like, they shouldn't be there. So that's also something that tells us that something's wrong.
So do we eat meat during our period or no meat during the period?
If you don't eat meat during your period, you'll see a huge shift in your period.
Okay.
You'll even see that your period smells different.
Yeah. So maybe like a 3 days before I know it's coming, cut down on the meat. Okay. So you're not necessarily saying that I have to cut out meat all the time. Just
no, I'm not saying that. No. You see if it was a situation where, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead.
What would be causing the clots? Like that's showing a sign of something's wrong.
The uterine lining shedding too much.
Oh.
Okay, so now it's coming out in chunks instead of just blood. Mm-hmm. Right? So sometimes that can be because the hormones are off and it's telling the uterus to produce a lot of the lining, which is why now when you have your period, a lot has to shed because there's so much there. Or you're not producing a lot of lining and you're shedding away the little bit of lining that you have. And that will definitely affect how painful your period is. That will affect how implantation happens if you're trying to get pregnant, right? Because here it is now, this fetus wants to implant into the side of the uterus. And the lining is so thin that as it goes in there, it can't hold and stick. And so you end up having a period. You probably didn't even know you were pregnant, but you were. Yeah. And you had a miscarriage and you didn't even know just because of the lining itself. Right. So our uterine lining can't be too thick, can't be too thin, just right.
So I'm just reading the comments and going on. So somebody was saying, do you provide services for overseas clientele? How does that work out?
Yes. So I actually started Cosmic Woman in the States because I lived in South Carolina. And that is actually where everything was birthed, right? Literally. Probably after about 4 years after doing it, I really wanted to come to Jamaica and help my Jamaican sisters. And so, like, you know, every 3-4 months I would come to Jamaica. I used to rent a little space at this yoga studio, and, you know, people would come and that kind of thing. And then as time went on, you know, it got just much more popular. And so I was just like, oh, but I can move to Jamaica and do this. I can live Jamaica life. That's great. So I ended up doing that and bringing the kids along and just working that out. But yes, no matter where you are in the world, it is an international company. So no matter where you are, I mean, I have clients in Dubai, I have clients in the UK, I have clients in Japan, I have clients all over. All over. So, I mean, wherever you are, there's no excuse in terms of if you would like my help, I would definitely love to help. So you can reach out for sure.
So be able to just mail the supplements that the person needs for their thing over to them, for their treatment over to them. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So we're now learning a little bit more about the vagina. We're on our journey, and now I'd like to get pregnant. So I came on your show one time, Ramona, because you've helped me greatly with both of my children. Just with timing, cleaning up the body, getting things going. So let's say I suffered with fibroids for a while. So let's talk.
And I just want to say that that was so crazy that you introduced me to Cosmic Woman, because Jodi is the most herbal girl. She's not this organic diva. So when Jodi told me that Ramona had helped her, I was like, girl, how come? Yeah, I was like, how come you even
I do realize that there's a correlation between the things we put on our body, in our body, with what comes out of our body. So whether the coming out be the poop, the pee, the blood, or baby, it's all related. So when I realized I had this big problem with fibroids, I know, I see the comments that it's my diet. I see it's my lifestyle. I see it's my culture. I see that. And I'm very stubborn, and I know, you know, but I also wanted a little help. And boy, you know, said the pig, the pork, and the, you know, the liquor and the things I was doing was not helping. So I said, I got to call a vagina lady because I need some help in here.
And your help came quick, man. I mean, both of you guys. I mean, you guys did great. I mean, I would say you guys, in 2 months, you guys really were like with child, from what I can remember. I could be wrong, but I do remember it being really quickly after you guys started treatment, that you guys ended up becoming pregnant, you know, and it was really, I remember that.
And you had a great, what you call it, not a probiotic to drink while you get it, when you're trying to get pregnant. It's a
tonic, the Feminine Divine.
Yes, I drank Feminine Divine, and I drank that horrible stuff, the black seed oil that I really want to put it in the hair. And Ramona wanted to drink the black seed oil. I was like, Lord.
And look at you now.
Okay. I didn't complain too much. I drank what you wanted to drink, and I thank you. But let's talk about fibroids, because after my YouTube video last week, I find that women suffer
from getting pregnant to fibroids.
But I had fibroids while getting pregnant, and a lot of women come to you with fibroids as well. Is it normal for this child to eat this much? Why? Jesus, peace, man.
No, man, it's normal, man. And you know what, too? It's also, it's like pacifying her as well. You know what I mean? The sucking and the this, and then she can smell mommy, and she can this, you know, all of that good stuff.
You know, so she's trying to tell me, like, Auntie,
I think you need to. I think you need to taste it.
Okay, Ramona. Ramona. Just stop.
Stop. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about fibroids and what we can do to manage our fibroids, especially while trying to get pregnant. And is it possible to have fibroids and PCOS?
Yes, it is very possible to have fibroids and PCOS, because they have one thing in common, and that's high estrogen. Okay, so you can actually have fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis. You can have all three of those at one time, right? And of course, that's because all of them come under this estrogen-driven condition, estrogen-driven situation. So yes, you definitely can. When it comes to fibroids, you know, it can be inside the uterus, it can be outside the uterus, right? So if you are trying to get pregnant and the fibroid is inside the uterus, yes, it can become a little bit more difficult, right? If it's outside the uterus, it might be a little bit easier, but then depending on where outside it is, if it's too close to the cervix or something, or it gets too big, then of course that can become an issue as well, right? But when it comes to fibroids, if you are already pregnant, right, there's really not much that we can do. There's certain things we can do with diet so that we're not escalating the estrogen levels, right? Because they're already high if you suffer from fibroids. But in terms of giving you like a tonic, like, here, drink this cleanse, you know, or something like that is not the reality at all, right? This is not the time to do all of that. But let's just say, for example, you have them and you're trying to get pregnant. Hormonal balance, I can't say it again, more hormonal balance. And it starts really with detoxing, right? We find that detoxing does so much good because that's where you guys got pregnant. You guys got pregnant in the detoxing phase. You guys didn't even get to the fertility phase of treatment yet, right? You guys got one treatment plan and that's all you guys got, right?
And it
so
was like
detoxing.
2 weeks in that I got pregnant. 2 weeks into the detoxing plan, I was so not ready. I was
like a vagina was good to go.
I know. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the detoxing is important. So no matter what you would come to me for, if it's fibroids or anything else, detoxing is definitely something that we're going to be doing, right? Also, what I would say is like your pads. Like your pads are, what are you using? What are you putting on your vagina? You know, what is in it? You're going through this stage right now where your body wants to release and all of these things. And now all you're doing is taking this pad full of Clorox bleach and pesticides and plastic and shoving it up towards your very nice pum pum, right? And then, I didn't hear that.
Tampons are a no?
I don't know. I have on a tampon right now. Well, yeah, I have on one just in case because it's the one day thing I'm a little worried about. I'm like, let me just make sure it really is one day. And I don't have an issue with them. My biggest issue is the type, what's in it, right? So is there chlorine bleach in it? Is there fragrance in it? Is there, you know, plastic? Those are more of the things. So what I do find though is that some women, when it comes to the tampon thing, the lining of their vaginas gets stained with the blood. And the blood becoming older, and because the blood is with this tampon sitting there in, you know, the canal of the vagina, that a lot of women will suffer from like yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis, right? Oh. So it's not necessarily for everyone, right? Or maybe you can wear it one day, but you can't wear it throughout it. And I wouldn't suggest wearing a tampon to bed either.
No.
Like put on your granny panty and just put on your pad and just do the thing.
Yeah.
And if your period is short, then your boyfriend or your husband don't have to be stressed out about this granny panty you have on for 5, 7, 10, 20 days.
That's true. So, okay. So we've done the detox, right? And we did the detox with you. Both Jodi and I got pregnant on the detox that we did with you. But if somebody who isn't so lucky or needs a little bit more, what happens after the detox? What do we do? What do we do after that to continue on our pregnancy journey to getting pregnant?
So you would do back when that 3 months is up, right? Because it takes 3 months for the cleaning phase. Okay, it takes 90 days for the blood to circulate from one side of your body all the way back to that same side. Okay, which is why we do it for 3 months, right? Once we've done that and pregnancy hasn't happened yet, what we do is we now go into the second phase of treatment. So now we're getting into the fertility aspect of treatment, right? So I would make a completely new treatment plan for you. We would do a mini consultation. I would want to know how your body has changed and shifted, because it should have in the 3 months changed and shifted. And then I give your body exactly what it needs, exactly what it wants, because it's told you, it's telling you, right?
Right.
So for example, let's say, okay, now you're not cleansing anymore. So now we're going to focus a little bit more on the liver. Okay. So if Jodi, if you had come to me and you still had the fibroids inside, right? I would have then given you the liver tonic and replaced that with the cleanse that you had gotten. So you'd have been on the female vitamin and the liver tonic. And the reason why you would have been on the liver tonic is because the liver is where the majority of the hormones, right, sit, the ones that are abundant. Okay, so it's almost like your liver is like saturated in the estrogen. So we would want to not just cleanse it, but strengthen it, strengthen the liver, right? And in doing so, you find that the fibroids, it's an environment the fibroids can't live in. That is when they start to shrink. That is when they start to drop away, because they can't live an environment that is not a fibroid environment.
Okay.
So we would have changed the different things just depending. You know what I mean? If it was PCOS, for example, that you had, then that would have been something else too. We would have focused on the liver as well after cleansing you as well. So it just really depends.
And during this time, is this where you would have the men come in to do their body strengthening program as well? Because it's not just always the women who have the issues. I mean, so is it in the second phase that you would recommend for the man to come in, or the man can come in at any time during the pregnancy to get his body strengthening?
The man's will not
anytime. And then, no, man, them need to jump in. So for me personally, I love it when I have men that call my phone and they tell me that their significant other than them are trying to have a baby and it's not happening, and they've been trying for 5 years or whatever. And I say, okay, let's set up a consultation, whatever. And I do the consultation with her. He is there with the listening or whatever, or if it's an in-person. And then he'll say, so what about me? We can't get something. So you don't have something for me, right? And I love that. I love that. Because you're right. Sometimes it's not the woman, which is why a lot of times I will recommend a man doing a sperm analysis. Just like how the woman needs to do her HSG test and she needs to do her ultrasound and all these other things, right? Same thing. The man should do his sperm analysis if he's never had children before, okay?
Exactly.
Or he's never impregnated a woman before.
Sperm analysis. That's in a lab.
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
How do you do a sperm analysis?
Yes, you'd go to a lab. So you would just call your OBGYN, or he would call his general doctor or whatever. And depending on the doctor, they have different procedures. Some do it at their office. Some they send you somewhere to do it. And then they would do the semen analysis. And from there, when they get the results, if the mobility is good, if the strength is good, if all these things are good, then we're good to go. If something is off, then we'll just do like a 1 and 2 thing, because it's actually quite easy to fix the sperm. Much easier than shrinking fibroids.
Yeah.
Much easier.
Okay, hold on. I want to take a pause right here because I see a lot of people asking the question. So I'm just going to take a quick jump back to menstrual cups, Ramona. Instead of using a tampon, menstrual cups, like the Diva cup and those kind of things, what do you think about that? Those are good? Thumbs
Great. Great. I think they're great just because, number one, there's nothing toxic about it. I think it's great because it also helps to shorten the period. I also think it's great because you're doing nothing to harm your environment. Yay!
Exactly.
Environment
That
stays
was one
good.
of the reasons why I liked my menstrual cup. And even though I would consider myself to have had a heavy period, the menstrual cup worked for me. I mean, the first couple of times, and I feel like it's almost like a rite of passage for you to drop your menstrual cup and have a blood bath all over the bathroom. Ramona,
or in the toilet.
You know what I'm talking about. So I had learned how to take it out in the shower. But I really did enjoy going through the menstrual cup journey and knowing that I didn't have to buy pads. I didn't have to buy tampons. I could sleep in it if I wanted to. I gave it a rest at night. And I just really, I could travel with this little one thing, and that was it. I didn't have a pad, tampon, liner, this, that. And
you can pee.
My carbon footprint
In peace.
was a lot less.
Yeah. I love that you can pee without having to take it out. Like, that's I'm just like, yeah, that's great. Like, because when you have on a tampon and you pee, you got to put on a new tampon. That crap is saturated. You know what I mean? With the Diva cup, you don't have that issue. You can leave it in all day. You know, so yeah, I definitely promote it. It's not for every woman. Some women are funny, but once you do it and you really do it, I think any woman can do it and they would be happy with their results, to be honest with you.
If it's leaking, if how did I manage, and if it's reusable? Yes, I think Tracy stole mine. A little reusable cup. You just wash it out. You just wash it, dry it in the shower, wash it again after every period. I'd boil it. It was a little messy at first because you have to get used to it, because you're kind of afraid. The first couple times I was like, yes, Jesus, it gone up in my throat, gone, goodbye, cup, lost in my pum pum, goodbye. It took a little time, you know, and pulling it out and learning the proper way to put it in, a comfortable way to put it in, a nice way to pull it out. So it does take a little practice. I believe it was my 4th period. I was like, do-do, like a pro. It was a little messy and it did take some time. You just do it in the shower, ladies.
That is why you need to use your yoni egg, because if you got the Diva cup down, yoni egg, girl,
What
it's
is
easier.
your take on like yoni pearls? Oh, sorry.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to yoni pearls, we're taking a step back. So, fast forward now. We just left off at we're still getting pregnant now. So we're pregnant. We've done the 2 phases. We've done the detox. We've done
And
the
the liver
fertility.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So after that, say we're pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, here we are. I'm still on my journey with you, and we are pregnant, Ramona. What do you offer at this point in time now that I'm pregnant? Now, for me, I know I had to call you because I was having a terrible first trimester where I was very nauseous. So you gave me an oil to rub on my back. And you were like, this will help you. And it really did. I had to rub the oil on my back. I put it on my foot bottoms and I used to smell it like that. So it was a very good oil. What other symptoms can happen throughout the pregnancy that we can call on you for? Or is it just anything? You have remedies for all sorts of things?
Well, okay, so once you find out you're pregnant, let's say, for example, right? I definitely want to make like a new treatment plan for you. Now we want to do like a prenatal treatment plan because now we're here, right?
Yeah.
And so there's certain things that are going to be on there. Like, red raspberry is going to be on there. I'm going to want you to stop everything else that you're doing. But as time goes on, because once you find out you're pregnant, you're not necessarily suffering with symptoms yet, maybe other than you cannot feel like you're tired or something like that. But you don't really feel it yet. But when you get into like that 6 weeks or that 8 weeks or that thing, now you're like, oh my God, this nausea, oh my God, my back, oh my God, these headaches, whatever the issue is. Some women really don't have an issue with any symptoms and their first trimester is like breezy, right? And then there are others that, it's not so breezy like mine. I hate first trimester. It's like the worst thing ever. So if you're in that situation now where you're in your first trimester and you're having these symptoms, and first trimester is anywhere from the beginning of it to like 12 weeks, right? Then of course, definitely can help. So if it is that there's nausea, if it is that there's a lot of back pain, if it is that there's spasms that's going on, is it that you're having bacterial vaginosis and you kind of don't smell right? Because a lot of times that can happen too, right? So yeah, no matter what it is, definitely can do something to help that situation. And then of course, I want to promote things like breastfeeding, like let's get the breasts ready, let's get your nipples ready, let's get these things ready so that you don't have an issue, because even let's say, for example, we never know what's going to happen. Of course, we always want you to have like, this whole natural baby come out of your vagina type of thing. But sometimes that doesn't happen for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, sometimes the breast milk does not come in the way you want it to. You know what I mean? So it takes a few days. And until then, what do? You're giving the baby the formula and the this and the that. And for some women, it really makes them depressed, right? They go through this whole postpartum depression thing, which is a whole nother thing. We could talk 2 hours about that. And so to eliminate that, we definitely want to prepare the body for the rest of the pregnancy and of course birth and of course the postpartum part of it as well. So yeah, man, no matter what is going on, I got you.
So you're there with us. Do you do home deliveries like water births, home births?
Yes.
And stuff like
Yes.
Yeah?
So I personally can't do the births on my own. Like I have done a few because of course the doctors aren't there. Maybe at the hospital or maybe at their home or maybe on top of the mountain or in the river or in the sea. Trust me, I've done births everywhere. Right? Like it's really, really cool to see that. So just lost my train of thought.
Oh, you do home births, river, sea, anywhere there's a body.
Yes. But me personally, I can't deliver a baby by myself legally unless it's like, there's nobody else here. You know what I mean? And I'm probably the best person to do it between me, the mom, and the dad, and the grandma that's here type of situation, right? But I do assist. With birthing, helping mom, helping dad, putting mommy in good positions so she can feel less pain, going through her breathing techniques with her, wiping her vagina when the blood and the poop and everything are come from all kind of place down there. Yeah, I'm that girl.
Oh,
for sure.
Yes, because you are a true goddess and you support everything that has to do with womanly You are the vagina lady for a reason. And we see the
Yes, girl.
coming up, Cosmic Woman, guys. You can link the vagina lady, or you can link right now at the bottom of the screen. It says Cosmic Woman. And you can link Ramona. She can help you. You can start a plan. You know, what are your problems? You guys can have a consult and she'll discuss and definitely help you, you know. And while a lot of these things, you know, just sound great, oh, Jodi and Tracy did 90 days and all of a sudden they were pregnant, we just want to acknowledge that we do know that there are women that have, it takes a little bit more time, they have problems, and you know,
the struggle is real.
The struggle is real, and just be patient. And what I feel, and we are here to help. Ramona is here to help, give advice, to consult, and just to help out. So it's I understand that Trace and I's journey was so magical and whatever, but we know that that's not every journey. So, you know, Ramona is here to help. So that's why we have Ramona here to help out and get, you know, the vagina going and, you know, the body strengthened and G's and P's.
Yes. So hold on. Ramona. So you've been with us. You've been with us from before pregnancy. You were with us during pregnancy. Now it's after pregnancy. The baby is here. Stevie is here. How is it that you can help us now that Stevie is here, now that anybody's baby is here? What do you do? What services do you provide now that baby is here?
Okay, so it depends. There's definitely lactation help, right, or services. There's definitely postpartum womb massages, right, which I do. Also, in terms of just postpartum in general, I have been hired many of times to actually be at the home with the mom and help out. So, you know, maybe depending on the situation, sometimes I'm there for like 3 days, 4 days straight. Sometimes I'm there for a day, I leave, I come back. It just depends, because every couple, you know, every mom is a different situation, right? Also things like, you know, sometimes baby's constipated, sometimes baby, you know, isn't sleeping. And so I definitely help with that as well, because baby needs to sleep for baby and needs to sleep for mommy and daddy, right? Because they definitely need the sleep. So that's definitely something that, that I do as well in terms of the aftermath. And then of course, if we're talking placenta stuff, that's also something that I do, which is great if you're open to something like that.
Dehydrated with you, but
that was just not having that, you know. I would have had a little placenta. I don't know, you want me to eat placenta and wash it down with breast milk tray? You're doing too much, yo. You're doing too much. I want to.
Wait a second. One.
Yeah. Pick one.
Well, right now you only have one option, so you better drink that milk. What I do want to say though, which I find that a lot of women don't talk about, is like the women that are having miscarriages, right? Just quickly, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, we need to know, because I think it's such a mental thing as well. You've miscarried. And it's very common and we don't speak about it. I've mentioned it before on my YouTube channel. I had a miscarriage before Levi. It's very, very common. It happens and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not like, so definitely touch on it.
It's definitely nothing to be ashamed of. And I find that a lot of times what I like to tell women are, you know, if you had a miscarriage and you're trying again, or if you've had a stillborn, or if you've had a baby that, you know, died right after birth, it's important for you to release that baby spirit. And I know this might sound really odd and really strange to some people, but the spirit is there. Right? And we find that when we release it, we make space for that new baby spirit, right? So I would usually tell women to write a letter, right? Write a letter to your baby. Write a letter about how you felt when you found out you were pregnant, how you felt, you know, during, or how you felt after you lost it, and how you feel now. Write it, express it. Yes, you might cry. Yes, you whatever. Nobody else has to read this letter. This is you, your baby, the letter. What I also recommend is getting a helium balloon. And if you are still with the father of that baby that you lost, get a helium balloon. You guys get a permanent marker and you write, "We love you. We release you." Right? And just release that helium balloon in the air. You would be surprised. Say it's mental, say it's spiritual, say it's whatever it is, right? There is this release that literally happens that really allows this pregnancy that you need to happen for you to happen. So that's definitely something that women can try. And also, you know, if miscarriages are an issue, work on detoxing, work on your uterus. It is probably the health of your uterus because baby has to live there for 10 months. I hate when they say 9 months. It's 10.
Yeah.
40 weeks, it's 10 months,
40
right?
weeks, yes.
Yes. So make sure you look into that. Don't have a miscarriage and then a month later be trying, right? It's not worth it. It's like doing IVF, it didn't work, and then doing IVF 2 months later. No, give yourself a chance, give your body a chance, give it what it needs so that you don't have to put yourself through so much trauma because the trauma is so hard to get rid of.
It is. It really is.
So I see a lot of people asking questions in the comments. So what Tracy and I were trying to do today, if you notice, Tracy tried to create a story with when we started, you know, with fibroids going through, now we have the baby and now we have the, and now we've seen a lot of questions. We don't want to ignore everybody, but we also didn't want it to be scattered all over the place. But Ramona, can you tell us a little bit about where we can contact you? Tell us about when you have your lives. I know sometimes you have a question and answer session. So tell us how we can see you, get in contact with you, give us everything, all the information right now. And YouTube, here's a picture.
Okay, so yes, so you can reach me when you're talking about IG. You can definitely reach me at Cosmic Woman, and that's CosmicWombman, or the Vagina Lady. Apart from that, we are on YouTube, and you'll find us at Cosmic Woman on YouTube. Some clients, some women, I find sometimes it's easier for them to email because they're just kind of in their feelings and they're a little bit uncomfortable and this is, you know, a little weird for them. And so you can email us at cosmicwoman@gmail.com. We have a WhatsApp number, which is usually the best way to reach us, right? And that number is 876-406-2764. And of course, no matter where you are in the world, you can contact that number on WhatsApp, and then we can help you with that. When it comes to lives, yes, I have a Womb Wednesday live every Wednesday. And there are different topics. Sometimes it's about hormones, sometimes it's about sex, sometimes it's about self-care and self-love and nurturing. Sometimes it's about, hormonal. It just really depends. So you can definitely check that out on a Wednesday at 9 o'clock on the Cosmic Woman IG page. You will definitely find some information there to be able to help. Because sometimes it's not necessarily about hormones. Sometimes it's your tubes that are blocked, you know, and that's not usually very hormonal. That's other things. So you'll find all kinds of different information in any of those places for sure.
Okay. Ramona, thank you so much. You have been so informative.
Definitely.
And you definitely we must walk away today with at least 5 things where we know now what we never know before.
That's for sure.
Including that Jodi.
I hope so. Thank you, ladies, for having me. It's a pleasure, more than you guys know. Thank you for thinking of me.
For Womb Wednesdays
at 9 p.m.
Yes. Yes, and we're going to be yoni toning. We're going to do squeeze and reliefs and squeeze and pump. All right, so make sure you put on something that is easy to move in. Get your yoga mats. Bring a little water if you need it. You might need a towel depending on how you sweat. And we are going to awaken that vagina. And once we awaken that vagina, trust me, if you have a significant other at home, you are going to want to use her. And if you don't have a significant at home, then girl, you better use your fingers with something. But yeah, it's good to go. You guys will love it. Hopefully, you guys will love it. You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Ramona.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys. That was great.
That
was great.
I just want to tell you guys that I have eaten off all of the holy smokes little tuna canapes except for 2 of them, which I am going to share right now. One for me, one for Nana. Ooh, okay. But it was really good to have a little snack while
it was good. Yes. So we're going to quint it tomorrow. Make sure you tune in to Ramona. I'm going to put all the information down below, and I did see where people were asking for me to save this live. You can watch this live in HD over on our YouTube channel, Jodi and Tricky, where we have edited to show Ramona's face. See? Editing. You see that? You see, we can edit. Next time, I'm going to have like a little a little paper that also says her name.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Okay, editors. I'm not now me. And Stevie's just here. She's wide awake. Can we see Stevie? She's just looking. Come over right here in the middle. She's just chilling out. This is a womb wellness baby. And she's just chilling out.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if anybody has
so
noticed.
sweet.
Her birthmark is in the shape of Jamaica.
The
It's
Jamaican
so
girl.
cute.
The Jamaican
She's
girl.
just so
Lord.
chill. Oh,
Let me
I
tell you
love
something.
her.
Blessed, you know. Blessed.